Thanks for joining us here on Ravens Rundown. Tyler Jones here as we are talking all about Zach Ertz here on today's show. The former Pro Bowl tight end is now available to join another team after he was waived by the Arizona Cardinals. What is the likelihood of him coming to Baltimore and joining the Baltimore Ravens after the Mark Andrews season-ending injury from a couple weeks ago? We will dive into that possibility, show you some numbers and more coming up in a matter of moments. But first, if you want the Ravens to be the number one seed in the American Football Conference, like today's video. I've been told that if you like the video, it helps their chances of locking up home field advantage in the AFC. Don't jinx it. Don't be that guy. Don't make me come find you because you didn't like today's video. Get some good vibes going for your Baltimore Ravens. Like the video, and we'll get started with today's show. So the news was broken by known insider J.J. Watt. We'll show you his tweet in a moment. That Ertz is looking to sign with a contending team. And basically how the situation went down was that Zach Ertz had been playing for Arizona this year. The Cardinals obviously not having a great season, and Ertz not being used to his full potential or capabilities, ultimately decided to go different directions. As Ertz wants to play for a contending team, Cardinals save a little bit of money and another roster spot and chance to develop some younger talent. So here's more from NFL insider J.J. Watt tweeting out this morning. Trying new things in retirement, so let's steal Adam Schefter's job for a day. Tight end Zach Ertz has requested and been granted his release from the Arizona Cardinals. The three-time Pro Bowler plans to sign with a contender and make a run at his second Super Bowl ring. This is easy, Adam. Later on, we'd find out that Zach Ertz is going without a game check for this upcoming week. That with the hopes of that he's going to get that money back later playing for a contending team in the playoffs. Now, Ertz must clear waivers first before signing with the Ravens or any team like that. So we could see the Ravens or others potentially put in a waiver claim. Probably not likely because teams probably don't want to take on the contract as is, but then from there, that opens up the possibility of where he could potentially go. Ertz, the resume, previously playing for the Eagles and the Cardinals in his career, and he's had a very good career at that. 3 straight Pro Bowls from 2017 to 2019, including that Super Bowl championship with Arizona. And as far as the Ravens go, this, I think, makes sense. I think that if you let him go through waivers and then take him on at a potentially cheap contract for the playoff run, in this circumstance the Ravens are in, I know some of you are going to say, well, you already have Isaiah Likely there. Do you really need Zach Ertz? And I'm going to explain why, and coming up in a few moments, why this does make sense for Baltimore more in detail. We'll show you some numbers and what type of role Zach Ertz could play with the Ravens in just a matter of moments. But first, let's ask you guys. Chime in for a second here. Tell us what you think. Our pinned comment today: should the Ravens sign Zach Ertz or not? Y for yes, in for no. Weigh in. Tell us what you think if this is a move the Ravens should make or not. Today's show is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. It's real simple. You choose 2 or more players on any given category. You get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking passing yards, receptions, fantasy points, all sorts of different categories to choose from. I know the Ravens are on a bye this week, but that doesn't mean that we can't have fun playing along on Prize Picks. Tonight, I'm going with Gino to have more than 230.5 passing yards as the Seahawks take on the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday Night Football. And with Prize Picks, you can mix things up a bit between different sports and different leagues. I'm throwing some college football in there on my Prize Picks as well. Pac-12 title game tomorrow night. The Oregon Ducks try to get into the college football playoff. I expect a big night from Bo Nix as he tries to not only get Oregon in the playoff, but also try to capture the Heisman Trophy. I have him having more than 332.5 passing yards and more than 10.5 passing yards, rushing yards. If all 3 of these hit, let's say I put $20 down, that's going to equal $100 on Prize Picks. And Prize Picks is giving you a $100 deposit match on your first entry. So play along with us, prizepicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. That's prizepicks.com/CLNS. Now, for me, the idea about bringing in Zach Ertz actually doesn't have anything to do with Isaiah Likely, quite frankly. Likely is solid. I think he is shown that he's capable of getting the job done, and I like what I've seen from this first game when he stepped in for Mark Andrews and the potential that he has for this team going forward. The question for me is the depth behind Isaiah Likely. I think the Ravens could use some more options. Right now you have Charlie Kolar there, and you guys know I've been a big fan of Charlie Kolar for a long time, dating back to his days at Iowa State. But the truth of the matter is this: Charlie Kolar can't stay healthy and can't get on the football field. And last week when they needed him, he was nowhere to be found. And Isaiah Likely was the only tight end that was used last week. The numbers for Charlie Kolar, this is it, folks. It's one catch for 13 yards all season. I think that there's the ability, there's the intangibles, but if you can't get on the field, that doesn't help anybody. So it's not ideal, to say the least, of the lack thereof of production when it comes to Charlie Kolar, what he brings to the table. Meanwhile, Isaiah Likely, this past week, 4 catches for 40 yards. That was nearly half of his reception total for, or about just over a third, rather. I can't do math. For the season at this point. 129 yards, 10 yards of reception. I expect his production to go way up over these next few weeks. But let's say you pair him with Zach Ertz, and you put these two together, and then you could have the potential to run these 2 tight end sets or trust Ertz to be out there to do his thing, whatever. I mean, you get some creativity involved in a guy that has a proven track record. We mentioned not just the Pro Bowls and the Super Bowls and all that, but somebody that has been able to be productive for many years with a couple of different teams. So, I mean, you look at the career stats, over 7,000 yards, 10.5 yards of reception, 46 touchdowns. Are you getting the Zach Ertz that played for the Eagles? No, you're not getting that guy. But based on what you have right now of basically nothing for your number 2 tight end, it's better than nothing to have Zach Ertz there and fill that void the way I look at it personally. What's your confidence level in the Ravens tight ends, where things stand right now with no Mark Andrews, with Isaiah Likely playing really good last week, but then everyone just kind of waiting to see what else happens here? Scale for me in the comment section your confidence level. My confidence, not great right now, if I'm going to be honest. I'll put it about a 5 myself. What say you? Chat in the comment section. Let me know what you think. To me, it's real simple here. If we see Ertz clear waivers and become a free agent, then it is a low-risk, high-reward situation, because I don't think he's going to demand a bunch of money. I just don't see there being a huge market for him. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but I really don't think so. And a high reward. This makes Lamar feel a whole lot more comfortable. He loves to use his tight ends. To me, it makes a ton of sense for Baltimore. If you enjoyed today's show, if you want to see Zach Ertz in Baltimore, like the video. Show some love, and we'll see you next time right here on Ravens Rundown.